Good morning, good day, good evening. This is your truly YieldMax Mindset coming to you with our portfolio review, year two, week 10, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so first off, let's get to the elephant in the room. It's been all in the news. Everybody's talking about it. Um, it's just been up and down. People don't know what to do. Is shaking things up. So let's just address it, right? The Epstein files. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what I'm going to talk about. That was just a little joke. Hope y'all ain't offended. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so the first thing we're going to address is the reverse split from YieldMax funds. Everybody's favorite fund manager, YieldMax. Nobody hates YieldMax. Everybody loves it, right? I know some of y'all don't love it. Some of y'all don't love it, but let's get to it, right? Whether you love it or hate it, we get into it. All right, so this is by Cash Flow King. It's talking about the 12 ETFs that YieldMax are doing a reverse split on. So let's just read this article. Most of you probably already read. Most of you probably already know. But for those 5 individuals that are just finding this out for the first time, here we go. All right, so it says YieldMax reverse splits, official SEC filing confirmed, 12 effective ETF, a 1-for-10 split, or a 1-for-5 ratio split. All right, speculation is over. YieldMax officially filed with the SEC this evening for reverse splits across 12 of their option income ETF. If you're holding any of these funds, here's what's happening and what it means for your portfolio. For 1-for-10 reverse split, it's going to include OT, Tesla, Nvidia, short, Coin. I think that's probably going to be one of the inverse. Murney, AI, AIYY, and Coney. Now, initially, when I heard this, I was hoping Coney wasn't in this, but it is. Here we are. All right. The ones that are doing 1-for-5 reverse splits is going to be YBit, Tesla, which is be the second go around for Tesla. XYZ, ABYY, and OARC. Okay. Now that's 12. Now I hadn't looked at all the prices of the YieldMax funds because I don't follow them all. There's just certain ones I look at, so I don't follow them all. Um, Now, one that I think should be in here that isn't in here, and I don't know why they didn't include it, and this is my opinion. I think they should have included Misty. I know millionaire Misty has 2.29 billion on the assets, but $8, right? If you look at the last month, it's gone from $12 to $8, right? And depending on how tomorrow go, we could see 7, and then it's got dividends. So yeah. So I think they should have included Misty. I know it's one of the big ones, but I think they should include Misty. Let's go and rip the band-aid. Let's get it all over with, right? All right. So, what is the reverse split? If you're new to this is simply a simple version. A reverse split consolidates your shares. In a 1-for-10 split, every 10 shares you own become 1 share at 10 times the price. In a 1-for-5 split, every 5 shares become a 1 share at 5 times the price. Your total investment value doesn't change if you own 1,000 worth before the split. You still own 1,000 worth after the split. Excuse me. You just have fewer shares at a higher price per share. Why YieldMax is doing this? Because all y'all complaining. No, I'm just kidding. Reverse splits typically happen when share prices get uncomfortably low. Many of these YieldMax funds have been trading in single digits or low double digits due to one, NAV decay from distribution. These funds pay massive yields by distributing capital, which naturally pushes the share price down over time. Market perception Low share price can create negative optics, even if the underlying strategy is working as intended. Institutional requirements. Some institutional investors have minimum price requirements. Because YieldMax, some of these are going to be at the 3 year mark. And I think Jay back early on was saying that, yes, some of the major hedge funds are looking at these, but they wanted at least a 3 year history. So, boom. All right, it says this has been heavily discussed in income investment communities for months. The writing was on the wall. What does this mean for income investors? Let's cut through the noise. Here's what actually matters. Your distribution doesn't change in dollar terms. If you're receiving $100 a month in distribution before, you should still receive approximately $100 per month after, just from fewer shares at a higher distribution per share. Your yield percentages stay roughly the same. The math still works out to be the same on your invested capital. The optics change. Instead of owning 1,000 shares at $5, you own 100 shares at $50. Psychologically, this feels different, but financially, it's identical. What could change? Here's what to watch for: the market reaction. How will traders respond? Sometimes reverse splits trigger selling due to negative perception, even when fundamentally nothing changes. Distribution substantiality. This doesn't fix the underlying NAV decay issue. These funds still distribute capital. The split just resets the share price. Liquidity. The fewer shares outstanding, bid-ask spread could widen slightly, though YieldMax funds generally have decent volume. My take: cash flows, cash keen or whatever it was. This is a cosmetic change, not a fundamental one. If you're in these funds for monthly income and you understand the strategy, synthetic cover calls, generating high yield with NAV erosion, nothing about your thesis changed. You're still getting the same exposure, same distribution, same risk. If you're uncomfortable with the NAV decay before this announcement, you will still be uncomfortable later. The split doesn't change the math, it just changes the share price, makes it period. For those of us who've been tracking these funds closely, this was inevitable. Even when paying 60% annualized yields, share prices will drop. That's how the math works. The reverse split is YieldMax hitting the reset button. What am I doing, or what he's doing? More so, full transparency. I've been tracking YieldMax funds as part of my high yield analysis. This news doesn't change my strategy on any of them. If you're holding for income and distribution still meets your need, there's no reason to panic sell. If you were already questioning these positions, this might be a good time to reassess. The bottom line: reverse splits aren't inherently good or bad, they're just a corporate action. What matters is whether the underlying strategy still works for your goals. For income investors, your monthly distribution should continue uninterrupted, just with fewer shares. For traders, watch the price action closely around the split date. For skeptics, this confirms what you already knew. These funds experienced NAV decay by design and eventually needed a cosmetic fix. Full SEC filing available as sec.gov. All right, let's see the comments. All right, this user says, don't own any of the YieldMax ETF, don't intend to, reverse splits, normal split, or whatever banana split they want to do. Cosmetic plaster will not fix the NAV decay. They need to fundamentally change their approach and lower the um, yield to something sustainable. These YieldMax ETFs will not be in my portfolio. There are other option ETFs managers that I believe care about the NAV decay and growth appreciation with lower yields. But thank you for the information about the reverse splits. Made it simple to understand. Wookie says, well, crap. All right, here's a comment by YieldMax. What's this? YieldMaxMindset. Okay, let's see what he says. He says, I'm still holding these. I'm still holding. This doesn't change things for me right now. What will matter later on is if in 2026 this continued to drop in the price after the first or second week that return on capital is applied. This should bring my average cost down as brokerages makes the adjustments after the first of the year. I recall something like this happening with IWMY from the first of 2025, but I didn't notice this had happened until around April or May. And so what that is, let me go to this right here. So if you all are watching, so like this position here, Carvana, right? CVNY. My cost per share is $40.70, right? $40.07. All right. The actual price is at $32. So it's about a difference of almost $8 right there, right? So what happens at the first of the year is I would still have 6 shares, but my cost per share would come down and match this price here. All right. So that's just a tax advantage that happens, I think, with return on capital or return on investments. I can't remember how it happened, but I remember it happened here in my Charles Swap account with IWMY, and they were identical. But what happened with IWMY from Defiance ETF is the ETF price kept dropping. So I did sell. So I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with most of these positions because in 3 months, the market may be flowing different. But for me personally, that will probably be. Now, I don't know how this is going to happen with the reverse split happening with Coney, right? Because, as you all know, that is my biggest position, 12,000 shares. So after the split, I'm looking at 1,200 shares. But the main thing is it would be an opportunity for me to exit Coney if they bring down the cost per share with the return on capital down to where the price is at the time, which with the reverse split, I don't know how that is going to happen, but it probably will drop some, and that will probably be an opportunity for me to exit Coney completely, use that money, and put it in some better positions. And then who knows? I probably will re-enter Coney, but I won't have to invest like I have $127,000 in Coney. So this would allow me to get out of Coney and get back in with a smaller amount. All right. So now let's get to our portfolio review. All right here. So, all right, let's go today. All right, you can see we're at $35,544. We are up $836 right now. The current time is 1:04 Eastern Standard Time and 12:04 Central Standard Time. So it's after midnight. We're up $835. Let's take a look at let's hit refresh here. This is the pre-market. Implied is up $39 for fair value, and the Dow is showing up $27. So that, which you can't put a lot of stock into that, right? All right. So as you can see here, it's saying account deficit, but it has converted back to a margin call, right? So it is saying that you have been issued a $14,874 margin call. Deposit funds or sale to cover, right? So what this means for me, all right, so if the market goes up, if it goes up and it gets to like 38, maybe between 38 and 40,000, this deficit probably will go away. If it drops more, ooh, then we in trouble. Mm, 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 mm. So my strategy is I'll probably reevaluate it tomorrow after I wake up, because by the time I wake up, well, I do have to get up early, take my mother to physical therapy. So I probably won't be paying attention to the market just right away until I get to the destination that we're headed to. But what I looked at last week is I probably will sell my AMDY and my Tesla to cover this position. And because I want to have control on what's sold. And those two, um, I won't take a huge loss on if I sell those two. It'll give back enough to give me enough cushion and buying maybe buffer. And also it gives back what I borrowed, right? It doesn't give back the dividends I've made, but it is what it is. All right. So live, we are down $309. As we stated, right now we're up $1,060. For the past week, we are down $13,826 for 28% in 1 week. For the month, we're down $14,445 for almost 29%. Well, 27% now. And for the past 3 months, we're down $23,574 for almost 40%. Year to date, we're down $13,600 for almost 28%. For the past year, we're down $20,692 for almost 37%. And all time, we're up $1,838 for 5.7%. All righty, let's go over our positions. Starting with AMDY. Speaking of, all right, so it's up 11% right now in the overnight market. It's at $9.37. Our market value is $6,371. We're down in this position $1,768. Now I said, I'm not down much comparing to what my other positions are. This is a drop in the bucket. That's not much compared to how much I'm down in Coney, right? All right. So let's check our dividends for AMD. What we got. All right. So we had 680 shares at basically 15 cents. And that was basically $100 almost, right? All right. Next up is Platy. It's at 56.63 right now, up 63 cents in the overnight market. Our market value is at $13,024. We're down $2,203. Average cost is 621, 230. It's number of shares. All right. All right. So at 230 shares at 80 at 0.834, that was $191.82. All right. Next we got Weeble, which is a position I was hoping to swing trade in. Is at 871. It's up 8 cents in the overnight market. Market value is $1,742. We're down $1,468 for an average cost of $16.05. 200 shares. All right, there's no dividends on that. All right, next is Hui. It's at $56.20. We're down 7 cents in the overnight market. Our market value is $618. We're down $70.46. Our average cost is $62.60 for 11 shares. I mean, that's not much. That's a position we could potentially sell out of if we need to. It's not much. Oop, I forgot to show you the dividend on it, but let's pull it back up. Play T. Scroll down. All right, so we had 230 shares. Oh, we did do this. I'm sorry. 230 shares at 0.834, $191.82. I thought I had. I'm sorry. All right, next we have Tesla. So this is one of the positions that I was talking about selling out of. It's at $7.55 right now. 2 cent is up right now. Our market value is $1,359. We're down $752 at the moment. Average cost is $11.73 for 180 shares. This was one of the OGs. This one in the OR was the ones I got in initially when I discovered YieldMax funds. All right, dividend, let's see here, 180 shares at 0.064. That's $17.35. Next, we have SMCY, $10.52 right now. It's up 21 cents in the overnight market. All right, we have $1,472 in market value. We're down $2,136 for $25.78 for 140 shares. All right, 140 shares at 22 cents is $30.38. Next, we have Supermicro Computer. This was to be another swing trade position. And we're still holding on to it because I think long term it will be good. That's my opinion. All right, it's $36.94. It's up $52 in the overnight market right now. Our market value is at $1,847. We're down $1,083. Average cost is $58.61 for 50 shares. Okay. All right, next is YBIT. I believe this is one of the positions that's up for reverse split for me. It's at $7.63. We have $474 in market value. We're down $401. And the average cost is $14.13, 62 shares. All right. 62 shares at 0.076 gave us $4.71. All right, next is YieldMax, $10.88, up 2 cents in the overnight market. Market value is at $544. We're down $235. Average cost is $15.59 for 50 shares. All right, so 50 shares at 15 cents was $7.53. SoFi. All right, so SoFi is a position that I want a big position in, but due to where we are currently in the market, I don't have any buying power to possess it. Um, it went up last week. It got up as far as $32, and that's because let's see if it says it down here in the news. It doesn't say it, but what SoFi is going to start doing is going to start um, allowing, I guess, people who hold it, or people who use the app to buy crypto. It's going to start with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and the CEO said eventually it will have other coins and tokens added. So that causes the jump about $2 per share. Um, so this has been solid. If you go to year to date, um, so it started in January at $14.84. It got as low as $9 back in April during Liberation Week. And since Liberation Week, it has literally tripled almost. Yep. So it's slowly, steady been going up. It's been solid. And okay. All right, so it's at $28.22. Our market value is at 705. We're up $201. Would this be a position that we sell since we're up? I don't want to sell it, but that is profit. That is adding back. I'm gonna try and hold on to it because I would like to add to this position. Um, I would like to either double the number of shares or see if I can get it up to 100 shares. So I'll need additional 75 shares. All right. All right. Next, AIYY. This is one of the positions that will be reversing. All right. So right now it's at 198. My market value is at 395. We're down $518. Our average cost is $4.57 for 200 shares. Margin maintenance ratio is at 50%. So that's why we definitely hadn't bought any of that because it's at 50%, right? 200 shares is at 0.0294. That gave us $5.88. Next, we have Amara from Bitwise at 21.87. Market value is at $1,312. We're down $1,210. Average cost is $42.05 for 60 shares. All right, so we had 60 shares at $3.01. That gave us $180.75. All right, next we have Bitwise I missed $19.08. We only have one share. We're down $31. So it's $50.23 is the average cost. It has maintenance ratio of 25 cents. All right. So with one share, $2.89. That's what we got. Next we have 22nd Century. It is at 93 cents. Boy, this one is sucking. Um, I should have never got into this one. But the market value is at 150. We're down $1,000. Average cost is $7.60 for 160 shares. Wow. The maintenance ratio is at 100%. Wow. Mm. All right. So now we have Coney, which is my biggest ETF position. As many of you all know, right now is at $5.22. I did have hope that Coney would move back up to that $10 range, but that hasn't happened. I was anticipating when they got added to the S&P 500, there would be more volume and push up on the price. And they're going to start selling stocks, ETF, other than just crypto. So I thought that was another catalyst, but none of that has really worked out. All right. So like I said, $5.22 is up 2 cents right now in the overnight market. Our market value is at $62,640. We're down $64,896. So we're down 50% or 51% right now. Average cost is $10.63 for 12,000 shares. So this will become 1,200 shares, and this will be around $50. Excuse me, I'm sorry, around $50. Now, if the price drops to 4 between now and that when that happens, oh, today is the hold on, hold on. Okay, so this stuff's supposed to happen around the 28th, so the end of the month. So the price could go up, the price could go down, but anyway, let's check our dividends, right? All right, so at 12,000 shares at 0.0832, we received $998.40. All right. So it was 15, then it went to 1,000, now it's at 998. Oh, what else was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else. Oh, back to what I was saying initially. So this price here at 1063 so let's say this is where we were come January the 1st. All right, the market probably won't open up until January the 2nd, right? So I don't know initially if that happens immediately that week or that day when the market opened, but the thing with return on capital, I'm not sure if that applies with Coney or return on investment. But if that holds true, this average cost would actually be 521. That's just how they do it. And boom, I could get out then because then I don't know how that affects this. I don't know. Um, I don't know. But my average cost would drop either to that price or at least maybe to $7 or something. I'm not sure, but that's what I was waiting on to happen going into 2026, and now this reverse split has happened. So I don't know how all this is going to play out now. but I'm holding because I'm a diamond hand. We don't sell. Just kidding. Uh, Next, we have Bitwise. Now, after Coney and the other few position I have after they do their reverse split, by the number of shares, ICOI will become my biggest position based on share count, not by market value. Coney will still be my biggest position by market value. All right, Bitwise is at 25.12. Market value is at 40,192. We're down 14,126. Average cost is at 33.95 for 1,600 shares. Maintenance ratio is at 45%. And they keep changing this one. I noticed that they keep changing this one. They don't change the others, but for some reason they keep changing this maintenance ratio. So if Robinhood is left up to Robinhood to sell, they will probably sell that 22nd because that position that's at 100%, they would sell it first, and then their next target will be this here at 45%. I don't want them to sell this. By no means necessary do I want them to sell this position. So hopefully when the market open, I still have for the close the close of the market tomorrow to make a decision. Because I think this is the first margin call I had. I've been in account deficit, so I should have at least 2 days in margin call before they make something. Now, if the market goes up and the margin call goes away, and the market my position closed in the green, then it won't count as being 2 consecutive days back to back. But once that second day is over with and it opens that third day, that's when Robinhood will say, okay, let me help you make a decision on what you want to do. All right. All right. So the last time we had a dividend for ICOI, um, no, that's me buying some there. It's right here, October the 27th, 800 shares at 394. That gave us $3,148. And we was trying to hurry up and was hoping we'll hurry up and get to this because even if it's at $2.50 at 1,600 shares, that would help my buffer and my margin out a lot. And then I wouldn't have to be sort of straddling the fence with this buffer thing. I will have more space unless the market dives some more. That's what I was hoping for. But all right, so my other position is Ulti that will be going through the reverse split. It's at 419. Our market value is at 6,285. We're down $4,307. Average cost is 706 for 1,500 shares. So I don't remember if that's getting a 10. Let's see. OT is getting, yeah, it's getting a 1 for 10 split. So I should have, 150 shares when this is over with. All right. Oh, let's see here. So we had 1,500 shares at 0.0626. Is that what I paid out this last time? Wow. Got down to 0.06. I didn't realize that. $93.90 is what it did. And last but not least, good old Misty. It's at $8. Our market value is at $8,000. We're down 17,696. Good, 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 good boy. That's 69%. That's my worst position of all. 1,000 shares. Maintenance ratio is at 35%. I definitely need to get this average cost down if I have an opportunity. Mm, mm, mm. All right. So at 1,000 shares, it paid 16 cents. So that's a $162. All right. So here's our cash account in Charles Swap. Now, so in the cash account, if my Robinhood was just a cash only account, I wouldn't be concerned about the price of any of these ETFs. I wouldn't. I wouldn't because if I had buying power in a cash account, I would simply be trying to build my position while bringing down the average cost, whether it's YieldMax, Roundhill, Granite Shares, Bitwise, Yield Boost, Defiance, any of these ETFs, my strategy would still be the same. All right. So here we have our total cost basis at $6,625, and we are down $2,106 in this account. All right. Right. So we have $53.45 available to spend. We're trying. We decided we're not going to reinvest this month. At least that's what I'm thinking. We're waiting on ICOI to get a payout, and what we're going to do, we're going to take this money here, which should I'm estimating to be close to about $400 or $500, maybe, and we're going to take that money if if I need it to go actually transfer out to pay a bill. All right, let's hit our Excel spreadsheet. I think that's what we want to do, right? Oh, so tomorrow, well, Wednesday. So Wednesday, as I believe Alan was telling me, Nvidia has their earnings report, and also Thursday, Walmart has theirs on Thursday. This is critical because, as you all were saying, if Nvidia doesn't have good earnings or good um, forecast, it could bring the whole market down, and I could potentially be in trouble. Walmart is going to be an indication um, how the average consumers are spending. Um, if prices are high and people are buying less, then that's going to be a potentially weak review from Walmart, which could bring the market down as well. All right. So now let's get to our spreadsheet. All right, let's get this. All right. So here in the month of November. All right. So our November income, active income is at $3,355.64. Our passive income for the month of November. Last week we made $1,863.92. And this past week we've gotten, I believe it was 1,666, bringing our total passive income for the month of November to $3,530.07. All right. So our total active income sits at $46,732, and our tithes is at $4,673. All right. So our active income and our passive income sits at a combined total of $140,630. All right. My average active income is $4,248 a month. Our passive income for right now is averaging $8,536. All right. So our prior margin balance was $114,055. It now sits at a small reduced amount of $112,544. All right. Just if you're wondering what this here was the amount of dividends we received in October. That's what that was. And this 10,000 was profit from selling Palantir, which gave us total profit for the month of October 26,677. All right. So had I been still, which I started to do, but I jumped back in, got in Palantir, bought some more Coney, bought some more ICOI, and so that brought my margin back up. For then, I think it was at about 92,000. So I think it would be good if I had gotten back into ICOI right away, if I had waited. I probably would have buying power and buffer and be good. Slowly getting back in instead of just rushing back in. All right. So Robinhood goes at $55 now. Interest is at 3,524. We're averaging 320 a month. As I stated, Robinhood margins at 112,544. Our 401k loan is sitting at $21,371. And our total debt now stands at $310,263. That is down from November the 1st from 312,674 and from October the 12th all-time high of $329,168. All right, here's the interest we accrued this year, 25,000. Crazy numbers. All right. Total Robinhood deposit is at $1,885. I withdraw from my Robinhood account. We withdrew $106 this week from our Robinhood account. So that total now sits at $11,154. All right. Tony, total investment amount, capital initial, I ain't gonna say initial because initial generally means the first, but our total capital in Coney sits at $127,560. We've made $72,363 in Coney in dividends, and we have left $55,196 from being in house money. So we are 57% away. No, not away, but we are 57% complete. I'm wearing that right, people. All right, so ICOI, we haven't got another dividend yet, and that's where we stand. I think we've only had 2 dividend payments. All right, Misty, we have $26,142 invested in Misty. We have collected $24,184 in dividends from Misty, and we are $1,958 from house money, 93% completion rate. All right, OT. We've invested $10,849 into OT. We've made $4,439 in OT. We are $6,412 away. We are 41% complete. Now, overall, these are my top 4 position. Now, technically, with Coney, it would drop to just 1,200 shares, but I guess it still will remain in my top 4 positions, I think. So combined, we on combined just on those 4 positions alone, we have invested $222,451 out of just these 4 positions alone. So we've collected $104,916 in dividends from these 4 positions. All right. And you say, well, but you only made 93 over here. Well, that's taking into account that I started investing in these around September and August of last year. So that's why. All right. So we are $117,535 away from being in house money. We are 47% complete. All right. So we definitely probably will be close to, I'm estimating, I don't know, with ICOI, I'm estimating that we might be close to 60% by the end of the year. We'll see. I'm gonna put this right here and let's just see if I got a good estimation amount. This is just me talking off the top of my head. I ain't did no math, no nothing. That's just what I'm saying, people. All right. That's just what we saying, right? So we're just gonna put that there as a reference point. All right. Let's get back over here. All right, what do we have next? Okay, Divi Tracker. All right, let's refresh it. All right, Divi Tracker has us getting annual income of 169. I don't think we're gonna make that. Um, but it has an estimated monthly income of 14,091. I'm not sure why it's so much because when I pull it up on my phone here, I'm not sure why the apps are not showing the same thing because they are the same. But on my mobile phone, it is showing 162,000 for annual income and a monthly income estimated to be at 13,580. All right, not sure why that is. All right, so it's saying tomorrow, which is after midnight, so it's saying Tuesday we should be getting $12.41 from TSYY. All right, let's get to Snowball Analytics. All right, so it has market value of 39,309. Let's see here, should be able to put this here somewhere, right? All right, so it's saying in holdings 151. That's the value, I believe. And the margin outstanding is 112. So that should leaves us 39,307. All right, total profit. When we look at that, I thought that was another way to see that. There we go. So in dividends, total received is 134,696. Going back to the prior year, our capital, we're down $117,963. That's how much we're down in value, significantly amount, right? All right, so 12-month forward, next 12 months, estimating 161. And that's, like I said, it's estimating at about 13,000, almost 14,000 per month going forward. All right. All right, so we pretty much have covered Misty and Misty and Coney and OT and ICOI, but we're just gonna skip. All right, so the cost basis for all my ETF and my swing trade positions, since I have a cost basis of $269,815. All right. So that's over $250,000 that I have invested over the past year. Right. On that, how did I do it? Using margin and reinvesting the dividends. But we can see that the value has gone down. All right. So as the current value is at $151,849. All right. And so that shows it right there. Dividends received for the year 127 down 117. I believe that's how that works. All right, let's get to our Q&A. Let's get to our Q&A. So we're at 48 minutes in time. All right. If we can get this done in 12 minutes, that'd be awesome. All right, let's go here. Okay, where are all the questions? All right. We got a little hot, y'all. About money got hot. Let me take this off my head. All right, Sticky Fingers says, brother, thank you. That's the first rule of investing. That's what people forget. Whether it's trading or investing, once you put that money in there, which is your brokerage account, you consider it lost then. Never invest what you're not willing to lose. That you hear this all the time from Chris Sane, Ken Grace, Stock Mo, Stock with Josh, Uncle Larry. Those are probably the 4 or 5 guys I sort of listen to on the regular. I don't get to listen to all of them, but all their videos, but every now and then, when I have free time. I say you're 100% correct. These are facts. It may be hard for people to understand that, but it's facts. All right. Kevin says, good morning here from Allentown, Pennsylvania. Keep up the great work. He got 3 likes. I said, thank you, Kevin, for stopping by viewing the content all the way from Allentown, Pennsylvania. I believe that's right. Hopefully, things will turn around in the coming weeks. I sure need it to. He said, yes, sure. I'm always tuned in. Oh, man, give this man some love. Appreciate it. Good friend Alan said, thanks for the updates, my friend. I said, hi, stranger. Hope everything's going all right with you. Are you making any changes to Ulti? Why are why are you staying put? I didn't mean to say that. Why are you staying put? Or I meant to say, are you staying put? But anyway, if you hear it listening, Alan, I didn't mean to word it like that. All right, so Lamont says, please put BMNR on your watch list. Not a dividend stock, but Kathy Woods and JP Morgan are buying it. Possible for large growth, not financial advice, but let's just say those big names don't buy like that to lose money. He's absolutely right. I said, thank you, Sarah. This company is that Tom Lee is involved with building up Ethereum as for a treasury. I will put it on my radar. I've heard a few YouTubers speaking about it as well. Thank you for sharing the valuable information. It's always welcome. My good friend Mike says, Yabba, dabba, do, boo, bug. Oh, yabba dabba do, bug. Got my fingers crossed for a glow up this week. 10K today and 10K tomorrow as well. Dream big. He's 11. My finger, apple, orange. In a few years' time, we will look back on this journey and have days where we're making 50K easy, peasy, squeeze that lemon. He got 8 likes. People liking your comments, Mike. That's what I'm talking about. Mike might always give us good commentary. All right. He said, well, so this was later on. He said, well, no 10K, but I did recover 4K. More today, so I'm close to where I am before the bloodbath. Still possible for tomorrow, though. I said, yes, sir, the bloodbath has been real this past week with a sell-off for tech. Might not be good for us Monday. But I do need a miracle tomorrow, so I don't have to sell off any of my positions by the close of the market tomorrow. If not, then I will have to sell something. He says, I pray we receive the miracle, my friend. I said, preach, preach, hit them keys. Everybody hit the drums. Let's sing. Give God some glory. Praise. All right. Next we got, all right. William says, thanks. Appreciate everything you do. I said, thank you, Mr. Williams, for stopping by viewing the content. I hope you find it useful. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Maurice, my good friend Maurice says, seem like Platy is the only YieldMax fund that's worth it. I said, I would also throw Hui in there with Platy. Them two know them. And then I said, and then who knows how long they'll hold up. Sharif Bless says, market for most part in the red today. Buying certain stocks on the dip. Much love, success to everyone. Yes, the market has been in the bloodbath the last few weeks. Hopefully, we can get a start to some good upswing, but tech is taking a beating right now. I hope this week will be positive. The dividend Sith says round hill mindset. He's always joking with me about that. I was like, no, we won't be changing our name. It still will be YieldMax mindset because investing in these ETF is really about the mindset. Strong, my brother. All right, next we got, all right, Gregory says, how do you feel about STRC? Now, let's see this. TRC strategy. I've never heard of this. I don't know nothing about this company. Like they're dealing with operating in Bitcoin treasury, United States and Europe, Middle East, Africa. I never heard of them. Founded in 1989. I don't know. They do have dividends. They're paying like about 85 cents a month. You know, don't know much about them. Albert, it's good to hear from you, brother. It's good to hear from you. He says, hope you are prepared for NVIDIA earning next week, which will be this week, I think. If those, if those are turds, prepare for a butt whooping. Please tell me you don't have an insane margin going on, bud. I was laughing when he said that. I said, well, I'm going to be praying that NVIDIA earnings are very good because I did get back in my margin. I got it back up to 114 after selling Palantir margin. I got it down to 92. And right now I'm barely getting by with a few uh, deficiencies. I don't need any margin call. All right, that was short and quick. All right. All right, Maurice says, heard YieldMax may be doing a reverse split. And then I was thinking about the commercial where they said, you can't believe everything you hear on the internet. So I was laughing, Maurice, when I heard you say that. I knew exactly what you were saying, but I was like, you can't believe everything you hear on the internet. Mr. Curtis says, just keep buying. I said, I'm all tapped out. I'm trying to survive now. I definitely need the market to go up on Monday. I may have to sell out of a couple positions. Um, Sharif Bless says market looking like a bud blaff right now. I said seems to be moving up a little bit right now in the after hours. I think the president has a big announcement today. I'm not sure if it's related to economy, but if it is, let's see if it goes up. Ricardo says not really. It is not even in a bear market like 2022. It could be a whole lot worse. I said, well, let's hope this thing go up by Monday. I could use a breather. All right. Doja Cat says, thank you. Oh, he just gave some praise there. I said, thank you, sir, for dropping by viewing the content. All right. Next, shorts. I don't think we did too many short this week. I think all these are going to be old shorts. Yep, 8 days ago. Let's check this one out. 9 days ago. This was 4 days ago. All right. Liver US says, bro, you down 72K, but you also make dividend money return. It's good, but I mean, if Coney goes down to like say $2 um and not going back and also paying just a little dividend, what will you do? Also, question from Coney Dividends. You buy some stable stocks? Oh, so he's saying the money I get from Coney, am I buying stable stock? Sometimes I am. I was getting into SoFi. I got Weeble. That ain't working out quite right, but it's supposed to be a long-term position. Um, Hood was originally one, and Palantir. So those are the ones that I had got in, and I made 10K off Palantir. I'm up a little bit in SoFi. I didn't get to build my position before SoFi ran up. I do hope to build that position up. I replied to him, well, now it looks like we're going to be in a wait and see mode now that YieldMax has 12 ETFs that are going to do a 10 for 1 reverse split and include the following. He says, so do we need to hold it? And I says, I'm not telling others to hold. I'm saying that's what I'm going to do for myself. Unless I'm forced to sell due to my margin account. If the market doesn't go up enough on Monday for me, I'll be looking at selling to position to cover my margin call. And I believe this is the same message he gave from earlier. This is 9 days, so these are older ones. Yep. All right. Let's keep it moving. Go to this one. All right. Ice Cold says, I ended up selling all of my position Friday before market open except way pay. Sucks because we did get a little rebound, but losing 15K in 2 days didn't seem like it was coming back. But at least now I have zero margin. Of course, I took a hefty hit on the principal selling at a large loss, and my income went from 8K a month down to 2,000 to 2,500 a month. Man, yeah, I guess you got to do what you do. Got to do ice cold. I probably wouldn't have sold it myself, but I understand. I understand. If you're gonna keep dropping, you losing. So sometimes you got to cut the hand off to save the body. Uh, I said, man, bro, sorry to hear about that 15K loss. I'm not sure which position you were in. I understand the reason why you did it. Going from 8 to 2K a month is a big difference. I wish the best for you, man. If you decide to come back into the game, Hernandez says, so what is the next play for you once you get into a real bear market? I'm gonna borrow. I'm gonna I'm gonna give you my cash out, Hernandez, and you gonna send me some money. I mean, let's just be real. If you truly my brother, you gonna send me some mother. I mean, some money. You gonna cash out me some money, man? Nah. I said these. He said these are just minor dips. I said it's possibly I could do a rebalancing, but for the most part, I am going to be 10 toes down until the first of 2026 because that's when the return of capital applies to my average cost will come down for most of my positions, and that will probably be an opportunity for me to rebalance at that time. That's me talking about earlier about getting out of Coney. All right. Danger says I can't for the life of I can't for the life of MW understand why all these YouTubers go ball deeps in gambling. 100% in the S&P income ETF will outperform the insanity your greed is driving you to. He got 5 likes. I said, yes, that I said, yes, that's one way, but I don't like those returns. I like what I'm doing, and I'll get there a lot faster than the S&P can give it to me. Mike come in and says, I personally play more conservative, but both ways do work if you can withstand the bumpy rides. Laughing out loud. Orange buffoon as prayers sure don't help much. Throw a wild card factor into the mess too. He got 1 like. All right. JR says you're way over leveraged, bro. You need better margin maintenance. I can't argue with you there. I will figure it out and hopefully fingers crossed. All right. Um Motul Island says I heard all YieldMax fund ETFs are getting reverse split. He got 3 likes. I said not all, just 12 of them. Uh, Mike says I heard that too. That will help most of you guys who have those funds. Mike said a couple days ago, so brutal of a week, my brother. Roller coaster up and down and riding back. 7K loss again next week. Had next week had better pump. Hard, all green, or I'm making some temp changes. Agent Orange sure knows how to try and destroy people holiday season. I said, yes, I agree with you. We need this week to pump up. And that reminded me of the SNL skit where that was like, I'm going to pump. something like that. The guys pretending out. Anyway, it says I need to gain at least half of it back just because I want that. He says, right, it better, laughing out loud. Tuesday's upcoming dividends are um, half the amount, so that makes it rough at Max mindset. He's right. He's right. All right, let's go to our posts. I think we got all our posts answered. Let's see here. Let's go here to the 11th. Do we have anything? So this, all right, let's go back even further. That was only 5 days. So, okay, it's the same one. Sorry about that. We need to hit this one. All right, that's 8 days. So, nope, we're back to where? We're back here. All right. All right. Dividend Seth says round hill mindset loading. Coming to the leverage side, my son. Oh, you crack me up, my bro. You crack me up. I said I'm not against round hill or any other ETF that are out there. I like them all. I did. Y'all got to remember, I got in last year around. I was testing them out the first of last year, but I didn't really get into September. So Round Hill and some of the others, they didn't have all the funds they have now. Even YieldMax didn't have all the funds. So I'm sort of grandfathered in, so to speak. So it's gonna take little time for me to shift and get in other positions. But I said I did have some Round Hill, but I've sold them. I definitely will be getting back into them, but I have to wait for the moment and time and due to my situation with my account. He says, man, you scared me with that ICOI play. He said, I'm not against Bitwise. It's the underlying it's getting its butt whooped. I just got into KYLD, gonna load up when the maintenance drop. Now KYLD, he's talking about this with curve, if I'm not mistaken. KYLD right here. Right here. So it's saying it's at $22 now. Has it paid a dividend? I think it's new. KYLD. It has. It paid 17 cents. So let's go back here. So this opened up around $25 and it has dropped um, basically 10%. Yep. All right. But he said he's loading. And that's, go back. Was that, is that gold? Can't remember what that was. I know one of them I think is on gold. Oh, can't remember. Holdings, let's see. Gold miners, gold, okay. Broadcom. So it's got advanced micro. So it's gold and look like tech. I ain't never heard of shift for payment. Never heard of that. Reddit. Okay, it's got Reddit. It's got Intel, Micro, Broadcom, some gold miners. Okay, nice little mixture there. So also they got, remember this one, they got that one. This is a new one. This is a new one. And these are the ones that use single stock income, precious metals income, and growth and income. So that's what he's talking about. He's looking for growth and income by getting into that position. All right, where were we? Where were we? All right. Anyway, he said he's getting loaded up on that position. All right. Uh, David says your max funds are crap, dude. I left them all months ago. I said I hear you. Got to make the best decision for you. All right. Nerd says he's playing that what is it? The trumpet. Dur, 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 dur. He says dead. Rest in peace. He got 6 likes. Um, Absolute Truity says OT has been such a dog. I said they just made some new changes to OT. Let's see what does going forward. It may take a few weeks or a month to actually see the changes. Um, Classic says wise word from a financial professional. I am not by any stretch of the imagination a professional or a financial whiz guy. I'm neither none of that. I'm showing y'all every mistake and everything that I'm doing. I'm not, if I mess up, I show it. If I make it, you know, so I'm showing you how far I'm down. So, and I'm showing you when I'm up. So I did say compounding is the eighth wonder. Craven said, if I buy YMAX today, can I still get the dividends? And they replied, gave him the answer. Um, Wavy says, man, ulti dividend dropping like Mr. Muffin. I'm so happy I sold for TSYY. I sold when it dropped to 8 cents dividend. Um, Assassin 7 says, do you think that's the same thing would happen to that? What would happen to ulti? He said, it depends on Tesla. I said, man, I'm about moving where the money is. When you have the freedom to move and capture that money, go for it. TSYY. Um, so granted shares, granted shares, have some nice ETF too, people. Um, I'm not familiar. It said all the ETFs. You got these here. Well, I don't know Whoa, I don't know what these are. These are not the ones I saw. These are something else. Because these are the ones I was seeing right here. The Granite share, I guess they're sharing all their ETFs. Oh, these are 2x long leverage. Okay. 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 They got 2x's. Okay. But this is what I was seeing. This is what I was going to start trying to report on Thursday for you all as well. Um, just trying to get it worked out. Yeah, I was going to start reporting these. Yeah. All right. Let's get back. Did I get everything here? Yep. Got that. All right. Any comments here? Uh, Hernandez says bear market is best for dividend investing. Investment should be moving with the flow and not against the current. Excuse me. All right. Let's see. Is this where we at? All right. It says reverse split coming soon. I said yes, that is true. That is true. Everything max dividend. That's what I'm talking about. Everything max dividend. Coney and Misty done for. What? Wait a minute. Not come on, not everything max dividend. You didn't just say that. Everything max dividend. Come on. It's a long term. They are never done. Uh oh, I can't make this out. Kriha says KYLD is looking solid out the gate. I'm gonna see what Rex OT payout. Okay. I said follow the money, follow the money. Sometimes I spend too much time trying to prepare these distribution announcements. I don't get to do enough research and follow. Okay, here we go. 18 hours ago, Albert says, despite the disaster, uh, the freedom YieldMax fund brings. He didn't say that. Despite disaster, YieldMax Roundhill does not leverage on the upside as well. The merit shows that a 1 to 5x downside. Most performance so far drop more in correlation to the stock. Having a bit having a bit of both is just great, but even round hill funds, the NAV does not follow the stock one for one. and will stray from the stock performance. Just a heads up. Some worse than others. Talking weekly pay. Have a plan B with these, but a total exit from YieldMax. I said, thank you for the valuable information, my man. All I can do is hope for the best because I'm not in a position to sell off that I can't take these losses. I'm just hoping that the market has a recovery, give me some more flexibility. Kindred says PTLW and COI killing me right now. I said those positions are supposed to be pretty good. It's always good to remember to buy stocks when they are in the red and when they're low. You might have bought this when it was around 46 or higher. He said, yeah, I bought it when the price was high. I need to be more patient. Thanks for the advice. I said, I'm in the same boat. It's a learning process. My good friend Albert again says, also, Monday sale of NVIDIA earnings will either make or break the stock market. Soon, you don't want to be in it if it breaks next Wednesday. I said, hopefully Monday, Tuesday will get some upward trend in the green, and then hopefully if it does go bad on Wednesday, then I've got some cushion to stand in. If not, then we'll see what the blow is. Yeah. Come on, NVIDIA. Let's see. Where we at? Am I still here? Am I tripping over? Did we get there? No, we got that. Alrighty. About to wrap it up here. All right. Fitness says, hey, bro, I've been watching you for a while and I'm intrigued by your investment style. It's a little out of the ordinary, but it works. Do you put your own cash into the portfolio or growing it purely off dividends and margin? So I thought so first off, let me say thank you for I appreciate you stopping by viewing the content. I am not the best. Here we go. I am not the best investor. I am truly not a technical analysis. I'm just showing what I'm doing as I'm trying to figure this thing out. Now, and pertaining to my investments, I've been using dividends that I get to reinvest them in the positions that also increase the available margin from Robinhood, which allows me to buy more, and I am definitely over leveraged with margin that I borrowed. My plan was for these last 2 months to pay down the margin as much as possible, giving me some flexibility going into 2026. Hasn't quite worked out that way these last couple of weeks. He replied, let's see what he says. He says, it's not bad, bro. It's it's not bad, bro. Reasons why I say I'm intrigued is because lately the market has been a little rocky and it's people like you that give me hope. Taking a risk like you do, taking a risk like you do, um, taking the risk like you do, I'm in a similar position. I watched one of your old videos where you said the reason why you invest is so aggressively is because you are trying to get in a position in your life in a hurry. And that hit me because I'm in the same position currently. I want to improve my situation, so when I watch you, it motivates me. Scared money don't make no money, right? I love it. 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 Yes, scared money don't make no money. And if you ain't got no money, you ain't got nothing to lose. So yes, I am trying to change my situation by doing this, and I'm learning and figuring things out as I go. Um, yes. So technically speaking, if you're still listening to this by now, um, as you if you saw earlier my Excel spreadsheet, I'm making about 8K a month. Now, 8K a month is a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Um, but I can't really feel the effects of it because I do have debt outside of Robinhood and I have margin. So until I get the debt outside of Robinhood taken care of, which I'm hoping if the dividends can get consistently, and I think I got myself built up in a position Going into 2026, we'll be mostly focusing on paying debt. And once I get debt outside of Robinhood paid, then I will focus on getting the margin. Of course, I'm gonna have to get the margin down to a reasonable amount before I can actually start withdrawing money out of it to pay out debt outside of Robinhood. But once I do that, that will free up my active income to manage all my bills and everything. And then I'll be able to just strictly use this money to grow it. As you saw earlier in the video, I've got it right at 269,000, I think, invested. So, and I've done that in just what, about 14 months, maybe September of last year. All right, man, I appreciate the comment. I really appreciate that, man. But do be careful. Do be careful. Um, yeah, I'm taking a risk. All right. Um, Jason says thoughts on the thoughts on the reverse split. Are you going to make any changes? Somebody else liked his comment. I said, as of right now, I won't be making any changes unless I'm forced to do due to my margin account. I'm trying to wait until 2026 when my average cost will change with the tax advantage of return of capital. And if that were to happen, then that's when I would make my move to minimize my loss. All right. The indifference of a good man says juice isn't worth the squeeze. The first 2 years made sense. Nowadays, it's just a meme to have YieldMax or similar funds. All right. I said, I hear the funds. I I hear you. The funds are still new. I said they're changing and investor strategies are changing, and we are adapting the best we can on the fly when the opportunity presents itself. I personally still believe that these funds are worth their squeeze. He says, well, what I meant was the first year the underlying were booming, such as Misty, Coney, Nvidia, and etc. And there was money to be made as well as distros. Now most underlining are flat or worse. So when you have underlining going down, which is true, then fund managers take their cut. They fail all of the trades. Cap any upside, capture all the downside. It's not really a fair game unless the underlying is doing great. But I do wish you luck. I've moved on. Appreciate the comment, man. Yes. Yes. If the underlying is not doing well, then I mean it doesn't matter what ETF is in. Listen, they got puts and stuff and other things in place, but if the underlying is not doing good. Yeah, in 2024, these things were doing pretty good. And 2025 hasn't been pleasing. I thought 2025, these things were gonna be just making boohoo's of money because a new administration come in. I thought, man, these things were gonna be, but it hasn't turned out that way. All right, I believe that's it. I appreciate each and every one of you dropping your comment, whether it was small or lengthy. Um, I really appreciate it. I appreciate sometimes y'all keep me straight by saying, "Hey, dude, you this, you that, boom, boom, you need boom, boom." So it's good to always have someone to bounce things off with. Um, y'all keep me sane. But I am a risk taker because right now I don't have anything else to lose because I'm already poor. And I look, if you're still listening, I don't even have a living room set. I have an air mattress in my living room and a TV. I have a keyboard, a chair, and I'm at a glass table and I'm working. So yeah, you know, and I've been living at this residence for 10 years now. So I decided instead of getting a living room suite to buy dividends. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm making sacrifice now to enjoy the fruit on the end, so to speak. All right, it is getting late and we got to get out of here. All right, so let's pray and hope that tomorrow and Tuesday and even Wednesday are up. If they're even not up, if they're just trading sideways, that's good. If they don't drop anymore, but hopefully we can get some uptrend and things can turn around for us. If not, I've got to make an executive decision and just to keep my main positions that I want. But let's get it, guys. I mean, let's get it. I'm out.